Okay, great.
And welcome back to White Mountains Today. Clare Long from the White Mountain National Forest on with us. Good morning, Clare.
Good morning, and how are you there, lady?
I'm doing good. We have so much to talk about.
I know, we've been yapping all.
Poor Ryan in the back is like, okay, ladies, it's time. I'm even
serious.
kidding this
I'm serious.
There you go. But we have a lot to talk about because summer season, very busy for us in the area.
Yes, lots and lots of visitors
winter,
coming.
You have your own considerations, but summer brings a whole nother thing for the National Forest.
Yes, a couple of things, especially with the weather we've been having recently. So that's one of the things that I want to make sure that people are aware of. Yes, obviously we have weather all the time, but this weather's just been a little unique. So we want to make sure that people are thinking about keeping them about the heat as well as about going in the water, because heat and water, you know, especially up here, we have some wonderful streams and some great swimming areas, but wanting to make sure that people are aware of some things, especially with the rain that we've been having.
Absolutely, because I think a lot of people, not only the ones that visit, but the ones that live here, sometimes say, oh, well, we're just going to go have a recreational experience, but they need to know certain things to be safe and keep it fun and safe.
Right, exactly, because you know, the water now, you know, or the water at one part of the day could look, you know, very serene and calm, but if we'd had a storm the night before, it takes a while for the water to filter through the forest, which keeps it clean, which is great, but it also, then you're going to get some surges in water and things. So things to think about when you're going in the water. First off, just take a look at the speed. What's the speed of the water? How fast is it moving? You know, it can be very deceiving. You know, little kids can easily be taken out by, you know, by water moving as fast that you and I would have no problem standing in.
That we wouldn't look twice at. And you've just given me great fodder for nightmares. Thanks, Clare.
Oh, great. Wait, there's more. But wait, there's more nightmares coming.
So you want to take a look at the speed of the water.
At the speed before. This is something that even before you, actually even before you step up to the water, take a look at what's going on in the rocks around you. Are they slippery? Are they wet? You know, what's happened before, even the dew in the morning. If you think it hasn't rained the night before, just test the rock. Put your foot lightly on the rock. Is it loose? Is it going to fall out, or is it slippery? Because with these high waters that we've been having and these freshets, these streamings coming down, the rocks could also be loose. And there are several people that have been recently hurt and unfortunately we also had a drowning where someone went into the water not aware of how slippery the rocks were, fell in, and then the water was just too fast. So you gotta keep that in mind. A couple of other things. So test the rock before you step out onto it, even before you get to the water. Take a look at what's going on in the water. Is it moving fast? You know, you and I can stand pretty well. People who are older, people who are tired, even pets can easily be swept away.
Right. Well, PFDs, a lot of people don't think to bring them for whatever reason while on the river, but it's a very important piece of equipment that you should have on.
Exactly. And a PFD is a personal flotation device.
Right. And I remember when I went whitewater rafting, one of the things that they were telling me about is that you can actually get caught on stuff underneath the surface. So, yeah, the water might not, you know, you say, I can swim. You get your foot caught, the current drags you under, and you're unable to get up to release your foot. So you need to be aware of not only the speed of the water, what's under the water, the rocks and debris.
What could be being transported by that water. Exactly. You know, limbs, branches, I mean, we're a forest. We have branches there. So yes, anything being transported by the water. Take a look. Not a big fan of diving anyways. I'm not, because you just don't know. Water is very deceiving. You can't see the bottom. You think it's deeper. Oh, maybe is it not? Always test the water before you jump or dive in. You know, just throw a rock in, see how deep it is or something, just to kind of see what's going on. Is there someone on land who, if you get in trouble, is going to be able to go for help, or is going to be able to see, or to be able, I want to say help you, but if you're in a place where you got swept away by fast moving water, you drop your camera in the water and you try to go for it and you fall in the water, don't be a second victim. You know, if you're a water buddy or if you're someone on land, think if what got those people in trouble might get you in trouble. I know you want to help, but you don't want to be a second victim either.
So what should someone do if they see someone fall into the water?
If someone falls in the water, what you want to do is, first off, hopefully this person can swim, you know, if they're in the water. What you want to do is you want to be able to watch them. You want to see where they're going, keep your eye on what's going on with them, and then try to get someone else to go alert someone for help.
So keep a visual on them while someone else calls.
Right, exactly.
Okay.
Seeing where they go, seeing how fast they're going, are they able to swim, are they able to move, these things, because rescuers are going to need to know that information.
Okay.
Okay. Another thing is, well, the depth. We talked about the depth of the water. Think about things that might be in the water underneath it. Are these rocks? So if you're diving or no,
don't dive.
Don't dive. Don't dive. I know it's fun. I know it is. I know. Ranger depressing here, but no.
Doing a little Debbie Downer right now, but that's all right. So keep you guys safe.
I know. Trying not
within the parameters of this, still have a good time.
Ranger Downer. Sorry. Think about what was the weather and what is the weather.
Okay.
Was is important just as much as is.
Are we susceptible to flash flooding in our area?
Absolutely. Especially with these, we're getting 1-2 inches in an hour. That's a lot of rain. The forest can absorb a lot of water, and the trees and the soils and things, but there's a lot of it that doesn't get absorbed and then eventually gets released there.
Okay.
So you got to really keep that in mind, what's going on.
All right.
there.
Now, do you have a certain section of water that tends to be, safety is always a relative term, but for people that is popular, that might be a little bit calmer versus some of the other sections?
Well, things to think about are what's the topography around it. If there's a stream area and it's necked down in, it's going to move faster.
Okay.
So water coming in through this necked area is going to move faster than the open area afterwards. So it's not, you can't, one size doesn't fit all.
Right.
You need to take a look at what's going on with the topography. If there's debris, if there are down trees and things, that will slow the water down.
Okay.
If it's just open water, it just tends to move a lot faster.
Okay.
We have there's a video on the White Mountain National Forest home website that has this information about water safety.
All right,
right
good.
on it, some things
Okay.
to look at.
All right.
But just keep in mind, it's really important because it's so hot and people are going in the water and we're getting
In volume.
yes, and we're getting this water, this rain, and in odd amounts at odd times, and so just wanting people to be aware of, take a look at what's the speed before you step out. What's going on with the bank around it there? Do you have someone who can get you some help if you can?
Right.
Do you, what's anything underneath the surface there?
And just because there might be 20 other people in a certain area doesn't mean
Absolutely.
that you should be out there as well. So do your
Exactly.
own assessments
Exactly.
for yourself and your party.
Okay.
Now let's switch it up a little bit to,
Okay, I just want to tell you one more thing. Okay,
you got
just
more?
I know, more downer.
Don't
Okay,
do
more
this.
downer. Don't do this. Just to.
No, this is
and
along
this
my
is just
lines,
a weird.
buddy. You know me.
I know.
Personal public safety announcement.
Public safety. This is just for awareness sake. When people drown, people drowning don't, like you see on television, flailing,
Right.
screaming, yelling. If people have that much energy, then they would be trying to save themselves. People who are drowning are very quiet. They have this look of terror, basically,
Oh,
on
geez.
their face. And they just slowly slip underneath the surface.
Now, is this
So-
something that you should discuss with your party? Is there a certain sign that you can make? Or, is there a universal drowning sign that they can do?
Actually, no, it's not like universal choking.
Right.
It's just because everybody has different abilities. If people are just exhausted, if they have their foot stuck underneath something, if there's something going on that they are just exhausted handling, if they're cold, like the seasons there, in the spring, it's really cold, the water's cold. You're in there after a good rain, the water's colder than it is otherwise, so you get affected by that.
You were
as
totally
well.
freaking me
I am
out.
I'm so sorry, and I hate to be such a downer. Usually I talk about all these really
They're
fun,
never
great
going near the
things. No.
Sorry,
just
kids,
think.
Claire said.
I know. Your kids will never touch the water again.
You don't even look at it. But let's
No.
switch it up to the
Okay.
heat part of things
Yes.
now, because you mentioned heat in relation to swimming.
Right.
But we were talking also, I asked you about campfires. Like, say
Yes.
someone wants to go have a marshmallow roaster on their own land.
Sure.
What is the procedure? Can they just go do it?
You know what you need to do? You need to go check with the local fire warden,
Okay.
because what may seem moist enough to you, the things, fuels, what we're talking about, like this is fuel, or trees or grasses or things, they have a certain moisture level, and at a certain moisture level, it's okay to have a fire.
Okay.
But when things dry out to a dangerous level, then you can't have fires. And a lot of the forest fire wardens will have things like, no fire dangers or fire permits required. You always should go to your fire warden and get a permit, even for your marshmallowy fire.
Now, will they have something online as a guide?
Yes.
Okay,
Yep.
so you can go
Yep.
check the rating and stuff like that, because say it's like 7 o'clock at night and there's no one you can call, right?
No, not really. But you know what? You should really plan ahead to be able to get that
So no
permit.
spontaneous fire starting?
So no spontaneous fire starting. As fun as that is.
No swimming, no campfires, no s'mores.
I know. No fun in the summer. Out. Debbie Downer here. Ranger Downer. Out.
So let's talk about things that people can do.
Okay,
That you
yes.
encourage them to do. Like
Yes.
when someone says, we don't know what we're doing, like the kids, I'm bored. What would you suggest?
Well, you can go to the water. Just be safe. Just think before you can go in the water.
Now, you guys are doing like a summer ranger?
At the campgrounds,
Okay.
every Saturday night at all the campgrounds that we have some ranger programs there.
good.
So there are people there giving fun programs that you don't have to worry, and you can be very safe going to the programs.
You
Don't
freak
worry.
everyone out.
I know. So there's fun things there.
Kids leave crying.
I know. I know. You won't have me on anymore. Usually I have all sorts of fun, great things there on things. Wanted to remind people about being safe in the heat.
Okay.
I know. Okay, here we go again. Okay, I promise not to be so bad this time. Just drink a lot. Drink a lot. Drink a lot of water.
Okay.
And make sure to replace your electrolytes and cover your head.
Okay.
Cover your head. Sunscreen. Cover your head.
Go
Drink a lot of water.
But she does
Pay
want you
attention.
guys to go outside. Do not sit inside. Summer's too short.
I know. We'll go outside any time of the year. It doesn't really matter. But just be safe around water and drink water. Drink it, but don't drink it in it.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Treat your water before you drink it over your house.
Oh God, there we go. We're going. Yeah.
Okay,
Now
I'm
you
starting
can't
to
drink
sweat.
water.
Okay, we need a break. I might not let you go yet, though. We
Okay.
decide once we get to break that we actually had to discuss something
Okay.
else. So hang on.
Okay.
All right, folks, we're going to take a quick break, compose ourselves, and come back in a minute. Thanks.
Hi, I'm Clare Long of the White Mountain National Forest. The White Mountain National Forest has been known by many names, including the Land of 1,000 Springs by the Native Americans in the area. These mountains are the headwaters for 4 major rivers and supply over 4 million people with their water needs. Do you know the names of these 4 rivers? The answer's coming right up. Many animals and plants rely on these water sources year-round, including humans. We enjoy the beauty, the adventure, and the relief it brings from summer's heat. The water's beauty can be inviting and deceiving. Ask yourself these simple questions before you consider venturing into any water source on the White Mountain National Forest. Are there any hazards below the surface? Rocks, trees, branches, or trunks, or other river debris that could entangle you or injure you? How deep is the water? Water distorts your vision and can make shallow areas appear deeper than they are. Always check the depth before jumping or diving in. What is the speed and strength of the moving water? Fast water can quickly take your feet out from underneath you and carry you away. Children and pets may find it difficult to stand and stay in place. Swift-moving water also transports branches and logs that may cause injury. Backpackers need to be aware of the river movement as they cross with heavy packs. What is the season? Spring runoff is very fast and cold. Cold water can quickly cramp your muscles and make it difficult to move or breathe. Late summer and early fall season, the water levels are lower and may be deceiving. What is and what was the weather? Recent heavy rains will affect water speed and turbidity. Periods of hot, dry weather will lower water levels, and winter encounters can prove deadly if a hiker falls in. Are the rocks slippery? Algae and other stream vegetation will coat rocks with a light film that's difficult to see and very slippery underfoot. Always test a rock by lightly putting part of your foot on the surface and lightly stepping on it before you put your whole weight onto it. Do you have a water buddy? Is there someone on land that knows where you are and can see you in case something happens? Millions of people come to enjoy the lakes, rivers, and streams of the White Mountain National Forest. By asking yourself these simple questions, you'll improve your chances of taking home happy memories from your visit with us. Oh, if you want to know which 4 major rivers are fed by waters that originate in the White Mountains, they are the Saco River, the Androscoggin River, the Connecticut River, and the Merrimack